doing it? Our new Secretary of State, oh, we don't want to scare China. I mean, North Korea. Can you imagine that? I said, I wanted to say, well, I don't know what I did. I said, screw him. I said, send off and test our. Why should we be afraid of that little nut job?
Yeah.
But you know what? We're not testing it because we don't want to provoke North Korea. Give me a break. That's how bad this country is right now. When other foreign leaders, we're afraid to do something because of what they might think or what they might do. Sad. All right, next one. There is a lust of the eyes after all the pleasures and the possessions of the world. Ecclesiastes 2:10. And whatsoever, notice what, there was a man called Solomon who got everything he wanted, remember? Richest man in the world, smartest man in the world, anything he wanted, he got. And notice what he says in Ecclesiastes 2:10. Whatsoever my eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion in all my labor. Remember that? So he got everything. But remember at the end of the book, Solomon said what? At the end of, what did he say at the end of Ecclesiastes? Turn there.
Everything is worthless.
Yeah, go to the last chapter, and the last two verses of the last chapter. What does it say? Yeah. Somebody find it and read it.
Are you talking about
Ecclesiastes.
12?
Yep.
The last two? For now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil.
See? He says, yeah, I got it all, but you know what? Best thing is to fear God. And remember, there's judgment day coming. So you can have all the possessions you want, but if you don't fear God and put God first in your life, it's all in vain.
Chapter 12, 13, 14.
So there's the lust of the eyes. There's the lust of the flesh, 1 John. And then also, 1 John 2 says, there is the pride of life. The pride of life. This is at least two things here. First, the pride of life means self-centeredness. A person who is focused upon himself and wants people to notice him. That's a self-centered person. Wants people to notice him. It is a person whose mind and thoughts are primarily on himself. A person who seeks attention through dress and looks. That is the pride of life. I remember every time you go to preachers' meetings, I can tell the pastors who have 500 members, 1,000 members, they drive in their Lexus, their $1,000 suits, and their nice cufflink pin, you know, and they go in like, you know, and you can tell the preachers that have 25 and 30 or maybe 100 or 200. They drive in rusted cars and, you know, Sears suit, and, you know, they try to present themselves the best, you know.
In a Taurus.
In a Taurus, yeah. So, there you go. A person who is self-centered, that pride of life, seeks attention through dress, looks, seeks attention through rank and wealth. They know where they are, and they love that wealth, and they're like a peacock that, hey, look at me, look what I got. And a self-centered person always is seeking for honor. They love the limelight. They want that honor. Kind of reminds you of our president. Seeks recognition. A self-centered person always wants to seek recognition. They want fame. They want the power. They want the luxury. They want the wealth. They always want to outshine others. That's a self-centered person. Terrible, isn't it? Be like that? So, the pride of life means a self-centered person, but it also means a self-sufficient person. This person who is focused upon himself feels completely capable of handling life himself without God. I am the man. I can take care of myself. I need nobody else. It's a person who feels that self-image and public image, that ego, that personal strength is the basis of life. A person who feels little any need for God in his life whatsoever. That person feels that the world is an end within itself, and there is probably nothing beyond this life, so I'm living for me. That's sad, isn't it? They don't believe in God. All they live for is comfort and pleasure and luxury and honor. And that pride of life means self-sufficiency. I am the man. That's all that matters. Man, don't get like that. A Christian never should have that kind of thought in his life whatsoever. A person that thinks like that, who has self-sufficiency, is a person, they're arrogant, they're conceited, they're boastful. They put themselves up so high that they look down on others. That's sad. So we have to be careful that we don't. Go ahead.
I'm going to say that, people like that are sometimes used by the Lord. I got a job in the shop as a maintenance foreman because of a person like that.
Yeah.
I worked with that person every day for 2 years, most miserable individual you ever knew in your life. And when he'd never show up on the job, he'd just disappear, and that was great. I was better off alone.
Yep.
And when I went for my interview for the job, that guy said, you did good on your tests and everything, but we don't know how you would be in adverse conditions.
Conditions, yeah.
I said, well, look who I've been with for the last I said, you're right, you got the job. You can't get more adverse than that.
There you go. There you go.
So that worked out.
Yeah.
Use that person.
Yeah. He can. Yeah. That's funny. All right. What are the sins of the pride of life? Well, we did one already. The sin of self-sufficiency, right? A person who is self-sufficient obviously has a pride of wealth. They're self-sufficient because they're wealthy. They can be that way. But Psalm 10:3 says, for the wicked boasteth in his heart's desire, and the blessing of covetousness whom the Lord abhorreth. You can be rich, but God will abhor it. It depends on how you got that wealth. Amen? If it's gotten honestly and hard work, God has no problem with it. But if you worked hard and got that wealth, but all of a sudden because of that, you become haughty, that's not good. That's not good. All right?
It's completely and totally of the world.
Yeah, it's of the world. And God does have wealthy people. I mean, good night. I was curious how much Bill Gates was worth today. You know how much he's worth? He is the richest man in the world. $41 billion his net worth is. Can you imagine that? $41 billion. But it's funny, every time you interview the guy, he doesn't look it. He doesn't dress like he's a billionaire. He definitely doesn't talk like one. So maybe God's allowed, he's not saved, but God has allowed him to have that wealth, and he does use it, and he does a lot of good with it too. But it's sad to say, when he dies, he's going to go to hell unless he gets saved.
Catholic Church does a lot of good things with money.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, I know. I said, Lord, can you imagine if Bill Gates got saved, what he could do for God with $41 billion? Whew!